Welcome back to Wrestling Flash. If you are new, be sure to like and subscribe for more wrestling content. Without wasting any time, let's get into today's video. On November 22nd at WWE Survivor Series, the company will honor The Undertaker and his iconic 30-year career, being marked as his last appearance. The Undertaker has been making the media rounds with outlets all over the world to talk about his storied career and what's next for him after Survivor Series is all said and done. It was thought by many that the Phenom could extend his prolific career with the new concept of cinematic matches that has risen in popularity over the course of 2020 due to the current circumstances of the world right now. Given the praise that his Boneyard match with AJ Styles received at WrestleMania 36, many felt that it had opened up potential dream matches for The Undertaker with the likes of Sting and others. However, Undertaker recently opened up to the New York Post by revealing he isn't really interested in doing that, going as far as to say he knew he was done with his WWE career while filming the Boneyard match for WrestleMania 36. The dead man said, "I realized I have taken every physical tool that I have and have used it up. There's no water left in the sponge. If I can use that analogy, I've wrung everything I could get out of that sponge." Furthermore, The Undertaker clarified that while he thinks the cinematic match could have allowed him to have a few more rounds in WWE, he feels that would have been cheating. He elaborated, "It really doesn't appeal to me because basically what it is working around my limitations. It's capitalizing on some of my ability and some of my creative ability to tell a story, but basically it's trying to mask some of the lack of my physical abilities at this point." If the WWE Universe has truly seen the last of The Undertaker, this year's Survivor Series will mark the end of a remarkable 30-year career that will stand the test of time. Sasha Banks won her first ever SmackDown Women's title at Hell in a Cell when she defeated her former best friend Bayley. The Boss has had 5 reigns as the Raw Women's Champion, but the blue belt had eluded her. Banks broke the hoodoo of unsuccessful title defenses when she defeated Bayley on the November 6th episode of SmackDown. Former SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella seems to be next in line to get a shot at Sasha Banks' title after she attacked the Boss following her win on SmackDown. Sasha Banks, though, has got her sights set on a WrestleMania match and has revealed 3 current WWE superstars she wants to face at the Show of Shows. In an interview, Sasha Banks spoke about her desire to main event WrestleMania and also revealed 3 superstars she would like to face at the marquee show. "I just want to have the most fun time that I can have in WWE, whether that's Bayley at WrestleMania, whether that's Liv Morgan, whether that's Ruby Riott, it could be anybody. But, of course, to main event WrestleMania is still one of my biggest dreams, and to do that with Bayley would be ultimately a dream come true." Banks has been a part of several firsts in the women's evolution in WWE, from being the first woman to main event an NXT TakeOver Raw, as well as a main roster pay-per-view. But, the first women to main event WrestleMania was done by the trio of Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch at last year's Show of Shows. Sasha Banks also spoke about the push that WWE have given to the women on the roster, but it's really cool to see just the investment and time WWE has given to, not only myself and Bayley, but all of the women in WWE. It's just been non-stop of this incredible momentum of women just taking over the company. Banks, after winning the SmackDown Women's title against Bayley, became only 3rd woman to become a Grand Slam champion after Bayley and Asuka. The Undertaker may no longer be active in the ring again. The man, whose real name is Mark Calloway, has now well and truly shed his dead man persona. He recently peeled back the curtain to give insight into his career and on some of his previous opponents. In an interview with the New York Post, The Undertaker reflected on his career of 30 years, culminating at Survivor Series 2020. The conversation steered towards Bray Wyatt, whose transformation into The Fiend has been viewed as the heir to The Undertaker's legacy. The Undertaker says that The Fiend is so much different than everybody else in WWE. Moreover, he noted that Bray Wyatt has had significant input into his character and should control it in the future. He said, "When you have people outside writing for you, sometimes they get a little carried away and you're just like, Okay, let's do that. I hope he stays really invested in it and says no when he has to say no and do what's right for the character, because it's really the strongest character WWE has right now. The Undertaker also said that he had something left in the tank to take on this version of Bray Wyatt, but that it probably wasn't meant to be. Even though they faced off at WrestleMania 31, when The Undertaker won, a second match could have ended differently, especially with The Fiend involved. We could have really done something special together, Undertaker said, especially since I worked with Bray Wyatt right after I lost to Brock that year. I think it would have been a really nice catalyst into where he's at now. It's safe to say that Dominik Mysterio has dispelled all skepticism surrounding his potential as a pro wrestler. Rey Mysterio's son has won plaudits for his performances so far, and the 23-year-old superstar is only bound to get better as he accumulates years of experience under his belt. Dominik made his WWE in-ring debut at SummerSlam against Seth Rollins earlier this year, and he put on a star-making performance that validated his WWE signing. Dominik, however, was initially never scheduled to debut in 2020. Rey Mysterio and Dominik appeared on Lillian Garcia's Chasing Glory podcast, and Rey revealed that they never expected the opportunity for Dominik's debut to come around so soon. The plan was for Dominik to train for another year before he could make his debut in 2021. An ideal opportunity just popped up, and the decision then came down to Dominik, who took up the challenge. Dominik had been training for 3 years before he made his in-ring WWE debut. We weren't expecting this opportunity so quick. We were still giving it about another year of training. We started to negotiate with WWE for him to potentially sign a developmental deal, and we said okay. I told him to go to the Performance Center and get ready and be ready by 2021. This opportunity presented itself. I told him I can't say yes or no, it's up to you. However, you feel, as a parent, the last thing I wanted him to do is fail on his first try. I said all eyes are on you. It isn't an indie show with no TV, you are live worldwide. SummerSlam, one of the biggest PPVs in WWE. He took the opportunity. He had been training for almost 3 years by then. Dominik also revealed the reason why he jumped up on the opportunity instead of waiting for another year. I felt I could do it. I had training from Tempe to Calgary and then to come home to San Diego, and the people I had been in the ring with and the feedback I had been getting, I felt that I could do it. I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity that was being presented, so I jumped on it. Dominik's confidence in his skill set and the fact that he doesn't get unfazed from the pressures of performing at a big stage should take him a long way in his career. As things stand, Dominik and Rey Mysterio are still feuding with Seth Rollins and Murphy. The inclusion of Aaliyah in the storyline has given WWE another big angle to exploit, and it has been rumored that WWE has massive plans for Dominik Mysterio. The young superstar is set to win a big title in the WWE, which is most likely to be the Universal Championship. These plans are said to take place in 2021. It is believed that he is the future of WWE.